last but not least, it's my movie. The Game. Starring Michael Douglas, 1997. It's about a game.
The Game.
What? The Game. The Game is a movie. The Game is my favorite movie that I forget about. Like, I fucking love this movie, but I just, for some reason, I always forget about it. And then somebody will bring it up. I'll be like, oh yeah, I fucking love that movie. It's great. And it's actually one of the movies that kind of inspired me to pursue a career in filmmaking. It's had a big effect on my life. I really, really love this movie. And I've been waiting to pick it for a while. Like, I've been saving it for just the prime time. And you said, suspenseful. I'm like, well, I already know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's one of my favorites, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too.
I did thoroughly enjoy this movie. Just the whole like puzzle of it, like trying to figure out kind of what's going on, and figure out where all the pieces are. Just I really love that aspect of it, and just the way that it played with your mind, and like the different psychology of it all. Really, the game kind of was a psychology test on this guy. Just that like suspense of trying to figure out if this is the game or if it's not the game. I think I don't remember who I told, but I said it kind of reminded me of the same concept of Inception. I know it's nothing like that, but like the same kind of like, is this that or is this that type of concept. And so like
what
it
is
really,
real kind of thing.
Yeah, it really like kept you on your toes the whole time. So yeah, yep, I don't have any complaints.
Well, believe it or not, this is another movie. The first time I saw it, it was actually, my parents owned it on VHS, and I was supposed to be sleeping when I was like 7, and I walked downstairs and I saw like the last 7 minutes of it, and like, okay, spoilers here. First time I watched it, I basically only saw the part at the end where they're standing on the top of the building, and the girl is shouting at Michael Douglas saying, it's done, through those doors, your birthday party, he's got a real gun, and then, he shoots his brother, and then commits suicide by jumping off the building. 7-year-old me, that's all I saw. Like, so in my mind, like, because he falls through, he lands on like his deflatable thing, and the game is over, right? But in my mind, I hadn't seen the rest of the movie. I didn't know about the game. I didn't even know the name of the movie was The Game. I thought that he actually died, and that like deflatable thing was actually him ending up in like paradise or heaven. And like he ran into his brother there, and they're just like this big party, and that's because he was this big hotshot banker guy, or that's what he looked like by his dress. And that was heaven to him. And I'm like, all right, so he was a pretty good guy who just got caught up in some messed up situation, and now he's in heaven talking with his dead brother whom he just shot. So
blood was still there.
Blood was still like on his shirt. So 7-year-old me, like I didn't understand what was going on. So for the next 5 years, whenever like someone talked about this movie, The Game, and how it ended, I'm like, I've seen the end of that movie. Didn't he die at the end? And finally, someone's like, no, you gotta watch that movie. I'm like, fuck. Okay. He jumped off a building, but okay, you win. So I go back, I watch the movie, and I really do like it. This is kind of one of those movies that's very, very intellectual. It's not so unlike Now You See Me, except it's more serious. There isn't really that kind of let's have fun with this aspect to it. It's really play with your mind, really make you think about it. It kind of sucks that I knew the ending before I ever got to see the whole movie, and so I'm kind of interested about you guys seeing it for the first time, like what was confusing and what wasn't, because the last 7 minutes really does give it away. But, so the whole time I knew everything, and I never got the privilege to watch the movie without knowing the end. Overall, I really like the movie. It's really, really well structured. It makes you think a lot. I love all the little things, like when there's like the cable car van is called Cable Repair Services, and the name of the company that puts on the game is Consumer Recreational Services, so it's like CRS, and CRS is just everywhere in the movie. You can always find it, and I thought that was really cool. Yeah. Michael Douglas does phenomenal. I don't know the actor who plays the brother, but he does phenomenal.
Sean Penn.
That's Sean Penn.
Yep.
I knew I recognized him, but fantastic. I really do enjoy this movie. No complaints.
That's a first, I think, for my movies. Like, no complaints.
This was not a classic Ryan pick.
I was severely disappointed Because I do not have a for sure 4th place now. I love having Ryan go last. Because it almost comes through the end to where I'm like, yep, classic Ryan thing. Down to the end you go. But I don't have that with this movie. It was a good movie. And
It feels so good.
I
It's
can't, it's so
weird.
hard to be talking about a movie that's good that Ryan picked. It had a lot of aspects that I like with it. I don't know what's going on. I am wondering what's coming next. A lot of stuff that I said before that I'm just repeating now. So I guess I'll jump into like one, not really, it's not even a complaint, but a lot of the mystery that went along with it, a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time I could kind of tell when it was real or not. Like, not like real or not, but like in the game or not.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I don't know, it seemed a little obvious to me a couple of times. There were only a couple of spots where I truly got tricked into thinking that it was the other side. And those parts, those are great. And even the parts where I wasn't tricked and I kind of knew what was kind of going on, those are still good. I really enjoyed the cafeteria scene. So you're able to see all the parts where you can kind of look back and see all the parts where you're like, oh, okay, you were a part of it. I really enjoyed that scene. I don't think I was tricked as much as the average viewer.
But I'm really, really happy to hear that finally, a movie that I love, you guys appreciate like a lot.
He's finally competitive.
What?
It's nice to
Is this
finally
the real
succeed.
Ryan?
Because the whole reason I started doing this, that I came up with this idea, was to show you guys movies that I really love and I think that you guys might like, and it hasn't really worked at all, and it's been like soul crushing. So to finally succeed in that regard.